If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw On This Business Bytes podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw On This Business Bytes. Guess what week it is this, guys? It's Canada Day and 4th of July. I know they're 3 days apart. It's confusing. The question is there I can't talk about tariffs. I'm not allowed to talk about tariffs. Did I say that out loud?
I mean,
yes. No, but seriously, I love this time of year. I love this time of year. It's the beginning of the summer. It is, it's pomp, it's circumstance, it's pride, it's pride of country, it's pride of people, it's celebration, it's picnics, it's everything that goes with it. And I get to watch fireworks. I mean, what better thing for me is I get fireworks both on Canada Day and 4th of July, 30 miles apart. Life is a beautiful thing.
Okay, Can I ask you a quick question though before we go on?
Of course.
What actually is Canada Day?
Canada Day is the 4th of July. It's when Canada became a constitutional country in 1867.
Okay, so you're still part of the Commonwealth, but you are still an independent entity.
We are an independent country, but we are part of the Commonwealth.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that because I was like,
we still have the Queen on our money, soon to be the King. As soon as the next money gets
updated
put into distribution, exactly. But we are definitely part of the Commonwealth. But in 1867, and July 1st, Canada became a country, and with that, we celebrate. So. We're coming up on 1867, so we're over 150 years.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, Canada!
Thank you. We made it. And guess what? We're not going anywhere.
So and hey, by the way, guys, I've always wanted to ask, and I was always embarrassed to ask, and I said, screw it, I'm going to ask just because. But okay, so. That is awesome that you guys are independent, and I'm glad I asked as a dumb American because, we don't get other country history lessons. We can barely get our own damn country down, and we're a young country. Freaking American public school system. I'm kidding. I liked my school system, public education. I shouldn't say anything else. I mean, yeah. I want to clarify. When I say public education system, I actually was very fortunate. I went to a really good school, really good school system. And I also want to shout out all the teachers out there. You guys are fighting the uphill. You guys are the salmon going upstream. So you can only work in the parameters that you're in, and you can only work in the parameters that you're in set by not only the government, politics, and parents. So anyway, sorry.
And God knows the parents are just as bad as the politics sometimes.
And that's why I said a salmon going upstream. I used to think it was inappropriate to give teachers bottles of wine. I think 100% it's appropriate. Damn it, Janet.
Or scotch. Give scotch, wine, whatever they can get. Give
them that Martinelli's if they don't drink, but they deserve a tasty beverage at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. But, back to independence and back to... it's pride of country, whether it's pride of country in Canada versus pride of country in the United States. I mean, right now, Canada is, without getting into the politics of it, it's elbows up, it's wrap yourself in the flag. It's amazingly how, prideful Canada has become, because Canada's not known as being outwardly jingoistic or nationalistic country, but right now, in this current situation, in the current realm of politics, the Canadian, viewpoint is we are all Canadian from coast to coast to coast, all the way from the just south of the North Pole to Newfoundland, all the way out to British Columbia and everywhere in between. It's amazing the sense of pride that Canadians, as do Americans. Americans are absolutely, wrap themselves in the flag and the apple pie and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's a wonderful thing because we all should be proud of who we are. We should be proud of who we are. We should be proud of where we came from. We should be proud of our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly.
We should all be proud of saying, hey, listen, trying to rewrite history to me just doesn't make any sense because we all came from somewhere. We did what we did based on the knowledge that we had yesterday, which may not be correct tomorrow, but that doesn't mean that we were wrong. It just means we did our best given the situation we were in. And I think that we need to learn from history, appreciate history, celebrate history of all different types. And be able to say, okay, that's where we were. Here's where we are today, and this is where we're going. And I believe that national pride is aspiring to something greater. It's always aspiring to something greater, And I think that that's what Canada Day and 4th of July really mean to me. It's celebrating who we are today. It's celebrating our past, and it's celebrating who we can become.
I like that. I really like that. I really think it's so needed these days, right? I think we're so politicized. I think we're so polarized. And we do need something above the fray that we can all rally around, that we can be proud of who we are collectively. And there's only a couple things I can think of that would be that unifier, one of which is an event such as, 4th of July, Canada Day, to say, yeah, let's celebrate that, this world that we inhabit, right? Mm-hmm. We have our allegiance to our countries, and that's great. Not the jingoist, my country's better than yours, just simply proud of the fact that I live in a country that is a good, wholesome country that, it's not perfect, but we do try to live in a peaceful, society.
We try to live within a set of beliefs.
Right. I think the only other one is music. I think music is the only other thing that can bring people together. Doesn't matter what your belief systems are. Something about a good tune, a good melody, a good harmony, the way the beats resonate. I think that is, I've been to enough concerts where it's such a mixed bag of people there. You've got people wearing political shirts. You got people wearing nothing, but the band
and everything in between.
But the music is what pulls everybody together, right?
Absolutely.
And I think it kind of reminds. Now that I think about it, it does remind me, Damn It, Janet, in reference to Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think the Rocky Horror Picture Show brings everyone together. Okay, I'm kidding. Not really. I do. Is that members
it certainly brings a tribe of people together, that's for sure.
Wonder, right? But remember the Coke commercial? I'd like to teach the world to sing.
I'd like
right?
to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Yes, 1971 Coke ad. It was redone for their 50th anniversary.
Did it?
Look it up on YouTube. Yeah, they did they brought in the children and the grandchildren, and some of the original singers, I do believe, of the original Coke ad singers, and they did a 50th anniversary. So look up Coke. I want to teach the world to sing 50th anniversary on YouTube. This is for all the geeks in the world. I'm head of the Geek Squad, and I believe there's a 50th anniversary version of that Coke ad.
Dude, I want to see it right now, man.
Well, you know what?
Cool.
You can see if you can plug it into. You can see if you can plug it in.
Yeah, hold on.
Without copyright infringement.
Yeah, let me see if I could do. Let me check first while we're talking here if I could do copyright infringement. There we go.
So if you can plug it in. If not, everybody go looking for it, and I'll see if I can put it into the show notes. Maybe I'll go looking for it and put it in the show notes. But we need to sit there and look at the world and sit there and say, you know what? We can always aspire to be better. We can always aspire to be, to elevate, to bring more people together, to create common good, to look beyond the division and look into what unites us as people. And I think that's what Canada Day and 4th of July do best. is they bring people together from all walks of life to celebrate together, the birth of a country. And the fact that there's more that unites us than divides us. And there's more that we agree upon than we disagree upon. And I think that, yes, we have challenges. Yes, we have disagreements. Yes, we have polarity. But in the end, we are all either Americans or Canadians. And I think that if we focus on that, and when we celebrate, I think there's a far better chance of us elevating this country and elevating the people within it to be able to move into someplace better. And I think that what that someplace better is going to mean different things to different people, and that's okay. That's what the conversation's about. Yeah. But it's having that conversation and say, how do we become a better nation together? And how do we take, instead of me being right and you being wrong, and I'm not happy until you're unhappy, we get to a point where we're saying is how do we create something different together, or something more effective together? I think that's where we need to be.
I couldn't agree more. I think just, let's just be good humans. Right.
I agree.
And because yes, it's great to rally around. Yes. We do. I mean, come on, our two respective countries that we're talking about is pretty darn great in the grand scheme of things. Right. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I think it's just a reminder. Yeah, be proud, but also be human. We are human. We have basic needs. We all want love. We want peace. Yeah. We want to celebrate that where we live is a safe place to be. And some countries don't have that option. So I think this is a great opportunity to remember how good we have it. Let's live in gratitude for this. Let's live in appreciation that, I can respectfully disagree with you, Ben, and I think that's
and we do.
That's beautiful. And that's beautiful.
Absolutely. So let's leave it there. Happy Canada Day, happy 4th of July. And this is Business Bytes. I'm Ben.
And I'm Syya.
And we'll see you next week.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Gnaw On This, Business Bytes. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. If you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at iambenbaker.com or me at brilliantbeemedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. See you next week for another episode of Gnaw On This, Business Bytes.